I am going to start a journey through this book, celebrating great women of the Bible, brave girls' Bible stories. My 3 daughters loved listening to these stories, and I've read them many times. And I wanted to record them, especially because I do think I have one niece, Eleanor, who's listening, and I think she might love these if she hasn't read them already. The Old Testament has stories about 18 women, and the New Testament has stories of 13 women. Today, I'm going to start with the introduction to this book. We have this hope, so we are very brave, 2 Corinthians 3:12. If you had to name the top 5 bravest people you know, who would make the list? Maybe your mom or dad, a pastor, a teacher, a friend, you. Chances are you've probably never thought of yourself as brave. After all, it's not likely that you've rescued someone from a burning building or saved someone from drowning. You know, all those heroic acts you've seen someone do on TV that everyone calls brave. No, you are just you, doing your school thing, going to church, having fun with hobbies and friends. No real need for bravery around here, you might think. Well, that's what the girls in our church youth group thought at first too. Hope, Honor, Glory, Faith, and Gracie, the girls you'll meet in the next few pages, didn't see anything really spectacular about their lives. A word like bravery was supposed to be saved for big-time heroes, not small-town ordinary girls, right? So when they all began studying how God used ordinary girls in the Bible to accomplish amazing things for his kingdom, they were blown away. Story after story showed how God worked incredible wonders whenever his girls simply followed his lead. It didn't take sensational abilities or outrageous events, just simple faith from regular people, trusting an extraordinary God to do miraculous things. Our youth group girls are all super excited to tell you what God has shown them about his brave Bible girls and the really cool ways he's helping them to be brave for God at school, at home, in their sports, with their friends, pretty much everywhere. It seems God didn't just make the girls brave back then. He's still at it today. And now he's calling you. Ready for some action? Be brave and turn the page. It's time to get going. And remember, it's his love that makes us strong. Meet the brave girls. Hope. Ready for a game of football? Yeah, I know I'm a girl, and girls aren't supposed to play football, right? Well, you haven't seen me with my brothers. Every Saturday afternoon, we're out playing in the yard flag football with our neighbors. And if it isn't football, it's soccer or softball. We even have a volleyball net. I guess that's one advantage of living on a farm outside of town. Plenty of room to play hard. I actually have a girly side to me that likes to dress up and be pretty and all that stuff. But give me a pair of broken-in jeans, a t-shirt, and a good group of friends, and I'm happier than a homecoming queen. I guess you could say nothing in my life is all that fancy. Farm life just isn't that way. But I have a terrific family. I'm the oldest, and my 2 younger brothers are twins. My parents adopted from the Ukraine when they were 2 years old. I love those guys, even if they bother me sometimes. We all work together around the farm and around our church. We help out with the local charity too, because we can't get over how good God has been to us. And sharing his hope with others, well, it beats football any day. I do admit that I have a challenge I don't like to talk about, reading. And I do okay in school for the most part, but when I read, the letters get mixed up, and sometimes it looks like another language to me. They call it dyslexia. I call it embarrassing. But I do my best to remember that God can help me tackle this challenge. And here's where I'm learning to put my, you guessed it, hope. That's how we remember hope. Glory. If you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you be? I'm kind of torn. Half of me would want to be on a high mountain somewhere, enjoying a beautiful sunset, or maybe the beach, looking out across sparkling waters. But the other half of me would just be as wonderstruck walking down the streets of New York City with my mom and sisters, shopping for all the latest fashions. I mean, you can never have enough boots, right? Or scarves and earrings and nail polish to match. Yes, I know it might sound weird, but There is a common thread to everything I love: beauty. I love beauty wherever I see it, in this awesome world God created, in a gorgeous dress in a store window, in the great hugs I get from my friends. I think God's beauty is everywhere, you just have to look for it. Lately, I've had to look a little harder. Life at home wasn't so pretty, and just last summer my parents got divorced. For a while, I got really mad at God and forgot about the good in the world. But then my friends from the youth group started writing me encouraging notes and inviting me over. Their love and friendship was, well, beautiful. And it got me noticing all the other ways God shows his love to me. I've started to see how God can take even the ugly, hard things in life and turn them into something good. I'm working on forgiving my parents and praying that God will use me to encourage other girls like me. You know, God can take even the messiest situations and use them for his glory. Honor. My friends say that whenever there's a challenge, I'm the one to take it. Maybe that's why I always pick up stray animals and bring them home. I love to care for my furry friends and figure out how to make them better. I'm always going to the library to find new books to help me in my animal rescue mission. In fact, I love to read books in general. Last summer, I started volunteering at the library so that I could help other kids learn to love books too. But my biggest challenge lately hasn't been at the library or with my 5 pets. It's been at school. Studying has always been easy for me, and I was thrilled when the principal said I could skip a grade, but I had a really hard time fitting in with the older kids. They didn't seem impressed with my intelligence. So at first I tried dressing and talking more like they did, even though I knew it didn't honor God. That didn't work either. I just ended up feeling guilty and more out of place than ever. Turns out they weren't the kind of friends I needed anyway. It's a good thing God has given me an awesome youth group. My leader and friends have helped me remember who God says I am. So who am I really? You could say I'm God's girl, even though I don't always act like it, but I'm learning how to honor him more. And one day I hope to take all the abilities God has given me and use them, maybe to become a veterinarian or a zoologist or something. Whatever I do, though, one thing's for sure. I want it all to honor God. Gracie. Let's just say it's all by God's grace that I'm here. And I'm not just saying that because of my name. If it had been left up to me, I'd still be in my own town, my old hometown of Perkasie, Pennsylvania. We're talking beautiful green hills and parks on every street corner. I was born there, and I knew everybody, and everybody knew me. And then we moved. I thought life was over. I wanted my old friends and my old world back, and I was pretty stubborn and loud about it. In my hometown, my family and I didn't talk about God much, but once we moved here, we started going to this church, and there were some girls in the youth group who were nice. Well, more than nice, actually. They were cool. They liked to do fun stuff and all, but they also weren't afraid to talk about things that matter, like what we're supposed to do with our lives. I used to ask myself that question sometimes, like when I was walking through the woods by my house or listening to my music. These girls were able to show me the answer in the Bible. I always knew there had to be a God who made all those beautiful things. Now I'm beginning to know who he is, thanks to God himself, those girls, my church, and yes, even my parents who moved me here. Want to know something else kind of funny? The only time I ever sang back in Pennsylvania was in my shower at home. I loved it, but I was afraid to sing in public. Now I'm in the choir at church, and I'm singing about God to anybody who will listen. Faith. Have you ever known anybody who was homeschooled? If you haven't, now you do. My sister and I have been homeschooled all our lives. I miss my friends, but I still love learning at home because I have even more time to finish my work, to hang out, and to think. I've even used that time to start reading the Bible on my own because I really want to make God happy. But to tell the truth, I tend to try to please more than just God. I want everyone to like what I do, which has made me quite a perfectionist. Even though my name is Faith, I think a better name right now would be Worry, because I'm always worried that I'm going to disappoint someone, including myself. The only time I get away from those thoughts is when I'm painting, my favorite hobby. Fortunately, I always find lots of time for that, which is starting to pay off. I've been asked to help the younger kids with their art projects at camp this year, and I've even won some local art contests. The girls in the youth group are helping me too, and I love spending time with them. They remind me that God already knows about my mess-ups and sins, but loves me anyway. I guess I'm learning that my faith is not a bunch of do's and don'ts. It's about a relationship with God who knows the real me. And He's working on me to make me more like Him. That's what real faith is all about. Believing that God loves me, forgives me, and sees me as His very own work of art, no matter what. The youth group. If God had thought we worked better alone, He wouldn't have invited so many people into His family. We need each other. Just like a body works best when all its parts are connected, God's family is the strongest when all His kids work together. Work and worship together. But a funny thing often happens with a big group of people who spend a lot of time together. The people start to look the same. They dress the same, talk the same, and only welcome other people who, well, are just like them. Now, can you imagine if on your body your nose decided to be an eye instead, and then out of peer pressure your ear became an eye, and then your hands, and, well, you get the picture. You'd have a body of eyes without any ability to move, feel, taste, touch, or smell. Plus, you'd creep a lot of people out. Each one of us has a special way to honor God and to help others see Him in ways the rest of us can't get on our own. But together, we're even stronger, which is part of God's plan. That's what our youth group is all about, learning how to work together, to know God better, and to tell other people about Him too. We meet every week to talk, to learn what God is saying to us in the Bible, and to pray about anything and everything together, the way God's family was meant to be. Want to join us?